German sailor killed by Abu Sayyaf. Sarawak's Chief Minister's Office denies secession plan. I'm Daniela Bakri, and this is Cuppa News. It's the first day of SPM, and the last thing you'd expect as a candidate is to take a boat to the examination center. That's exactly what happened to some SPM candidates living at Jalan P. Ramlee in Georgetown, one of several areas in Penang Island hit by flash floods this morning. The water level was more than knee-high. Boats were immediately deployed by JPAM to ferry the students to their exam center. Other candidates were affected by a landslide on the main road connecting Teluk Bahang with the city center, leaving hundreds of road users stranded on both sides. Arrangements were made for them to sit the exam at nearby schools. According to State Local Government Committee Chairman Chow Kon Yao, a combination of factors, including continuous heavy rain and overflowing rivers, caused the flash floods and landslide. He said the state government has approved 7 short-term projects worth 665,000 ringgit to minimize floods in some of the affected areas. In the latest spree of robbery and abductions along the Sabah and Tawi-Tawi island chain, the naked body of a German woman with gunshot wounds was found on an abandoned yacht by Philippine soldiers on Monday. Her 70-year-old partner was reported to have been taken captive by Abu Sayyaf rebels. Philippines intelligence sources identified the couple as Jürgen Kantner and Sabine Mers. They were sailing from Palawan, an island north of Sabah, and passing through Tawi-Tawi waters bordering Sabah when the yacht was intercepted by the rebels. It appeared the victims were the same as those abducted by Somali pirates off the Gulf of Aden and held hostage for 52 days in 2008. MyWatch Chairman Dr. R. Sri Sanjeevan has lodged a complaint with the MACC accusing a senior police officer of building a 5.5 million ringgit mansion in Mantin, Negeri Sembilan. Sanjeevan, who is currently facing a slew of charges including forgery, cheating, defamation and money laundering, claimed he has documents and photographs of the so-called Istana Mantin, located at Kampung Gebok.
MyWatch menyeru SPRM agar menyiasat adakah benar rumah ini milik dan adakah ianya dibina dengan kos 5.5 juta yang ditaja oleh tauke-tauke sindiket judi haram.
Sanjeevan hopes the MACC would conduct a detailed investigation and reveal the outcome to the public, adding that MyWatch was ready to work with the Commission in the investigation. He also urged the senior police officer to come forward and clarify the matter.
In a separate development, Parti Warisan Sabah President Datuk Sri Shafiee Apdal defended his right as a parliamentarian to raise issues surrounding state investor 1MDB during debates in the Dewan Rakyat. The former UMNO minister was questioned for about an hour on his Budget 2017 debate speech that the Parliament Speaker said breached the Official Secrets Act.
Dan saya beranggapan bahawa ini merupakan satu proses intimidasi, iaitu a process of intimidation on the rights of member of parliament, where they have the right to speak in parliament under Article 63(2). But of course, there are also conditions to that, where one should not touch rulers, the Pertuan Agong, the king, shouldn't touch on certain issues related to seditious. But we know what is seditious, what is not.
The IGP had previously said investigations would also be carried out for alleged sedition. Shafiee is the third MP to be called up on the matter after former Second Finance Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Husni Hanazlah and former Deputy Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. All three are being investigated after Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Pandekar Amin Mulia said the speeches they made in the House on 1MDB breached the oath of secrecy they took as cabinet ministers.
Amidst claims that Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Razak has sold off Malaysian interests to China, Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tong Lai slammed such statements as being laced with political agenda. The MCA president said there are those who want to smear the Prime Minister's successful trip to China.
And I think this is very damaging for the country economy and for the people of this country. So I think stop politicking, be more pragmatic, help the country economy to grow, be united to face the challenges ahead.
Citing the littoral mission ships deal as an example, Liao said it was a normal transaction.
So I think if we buy the littoral mission ships from China, because China offers a better deal. If any other country, we can buy from France or you can buy from US, why can't we buy from China? What is the logic in that? We buy from China, is it because we can't buy from any other country? Is there any other country that's specified that we cannot buy from?
Liao, who was with Najib on a 6-day official visit to China, said the visit saw the signing of 14 memorandums of understanding between companies in both countries worth nearly 144 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, the local firm handling the multi-billion East Coast Rail Link or ECRL has a paid-up capital of 2 ringgit. PKR's Pandan MP Rafizi Ramli said checks with the company's Commission of Malaysia showed the firm was only established on September 26 this year.
Apabila kontrak ini ditandatangani oleh sebuah syarikat yang bermodal RM2 dan ditubuhkan pada 26 September 2016, lebih kurang 1.5 bulan yang lalu, ia menimbulkan tanda tanya sama ada kelulusan yang sewajarnya mengikut peraturan kerajaan telah diikuti.
He stressed that a project of such magnitude required the formation of a special purpose vehicle as well as parliamentary oversight. Rafizi also pointed out that the Prime Minister had sought parliamentary approval for 10 million ringgit for the Kuala Lumpur-Singapore high-speed rail and that this should also be the case for the ECRL. Moving on to East Malaysia, the Sarawak Chief Minister's office denied claims that Tan Sri Adnan Satem made a public statement that the state would secede if the country continues to be plagued by various problems. In a statement released on Monday, the Chief Minister's office called the social media posting from the Facebook account Sarawak Keluar Malaysia 2021 as grossly wrong and a blatant act to put the Chief Minister in bad light in the eyes of the federal government. However, the Chief Minister's office also stated that Sarawak will continue to fight for the state's rights and equal partner status. 10 years since its inception, Brunei's second-largest English-language newspaper, the Brunei Times, announced that it was ceasing media and publication operations, citing business sustainability issues among other reasons for its closure. The announcement was made on the front page of the Brunei Times' final edition on Monday. According to the Bangkok Post, the closure is likely to result in the loss of up to 130 jobs. One of its reporters, Tiwin Aji, posted the news in a video on her Facebook page, which has since been viewed over 21,000 times.
So I never imagined that so many of us could lose our jobs overnight like this. It's incredibly jarring. We're not in our safe bubble anymore.
Other staff members also took to social media to sadly mark the end of the Brunei Times, including a video of the English Daily's final edition going to print. In other news, floods in Vietnam's Central Highland and southern provinces have left 15 people dead and 6 missing, as well as thousands displaced. Flooding from very heavy rain last week blocked roads and inundated more than 40,000 houses in 12 provinces, while more than 40,000 cattle and poultry were killed or washed away. Indonesian police are questioning Jakarta's Christian governor Basuki Cahayapurnama over his alleged remarks about the Quran, which sparked a violent mass protest last Friday. Purnama, also known as Ahok, has apologized for his remarks, claiming that he was criticizing his political rivals for their use of a Quranic verse rather than the Quran itself. He faces jail time of up to 5 years if found guilty of blasphemy. With the US election inching closer, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is criticizing the FBI over its finding that Hillary Clinton committed no crime for using a private server for government emails.
Right now, she is being protected by a rigged system. It's a totally rigged system. I've been saying it for a long time. You can't review 650,000 new emails in 8 days. You can't do it, folks.
Clinton, on the other hand, made no mention of the emails. The former US Secretary of State instead encouraged her supporters to show up and vote.
For a better, stronger, fairer America.
Meanwhile, at the MTV Europe Music Awards, veteran US act Green Day received the World Icon Award and gave the night a political tinge.
Green Day!
I gotta say one thing. It's really nice to be in Europe right now. But most of all, it's nice to be out of America just for a second because of this horrendous election that's going on right now that has... Our entire country is about to have one big collective heart attack.
The punk rock band proceeded to close the show with its anti-establishment anthem, American Idiot, this time with a little tweak to the lyrics.
The subliminal mind Trump America. Want to only got attention, or across the alien nation. Everything's meant to be okay.
That's our daily serving of Cuppa News. Good night.